Hi folks, quick shop update with 3 things. Number 1, Speeds and Feeds project. I have not forgot about it. I'm waiting to hear back a proposal from one of our partners on that project, but super excited. It's going to be a big thing. It's going to take some work, and I probably won't have anything to share with you guys for at least another few months, but I am excited. One of the things we're doing right now is some surface finish, and surface footage per minute tests on coolant and how fast you go. Notice right here we're turning incredibly slow, looking at chip loads per tooth, and trying to get an understanding of really diving in to some recipes. That was convenient timing. Comparing finishes on the left and the right. The second thing, which I'm really excited about, is we're about to release the beta Mod Vise soft jaw. So we love the Mod Vise. We've had really good feedback and reviews and commentary on it. But I've always wanted it to work as both a traditional clamping vise, but also to accommodate soft jaws. So we've got different things in the works here. You can see the current incarnation is a derivative of this, which will replace the tiny vices, and on top of this will sit your aluminum, or it could be steel, but generally aluminum, semi-sacrificial, we call it a top jaw. So you can see that right here, been very, very rugged, very reliable in our testing. And the great thing is it'll work for even existing mod vices that are out there in the world. So if you are interested in being a beta tester, stay tuned. We'll throw up a link pretty soon. We want to get those out in the folks' hands to try them and see what we learn and how that goes. I think, Ed, we were running them on the MX prototype. Oh no, what we're doing here is we're going to start reducing the height of the back bar so that it doesn't need to be as tall as we made it in the past. Makes it coplanar with the tiny vices, and we switch the screws, the same thread, so it's just switching out the screws so that it's the same hex head size as the Talon grip. So just one less wrench that you've got to have around. The last thing, which to me is actually the most important, is I have a new way of kind of managing some of my big term project management. And we do a lot of things, and I think that's probably pretty common for many entrepreneurs when it comes to going back to the E-Myth Revisited, being a technician, being a manager, being the entrepreneur, managing the day-to-day stuff, thinking about R&D projects, the business operations. It's a lot. And what I had wanted for a long time was some sense of accountability, making sure I don't get lost in the weeds. And some people could do that with like a board of directors, which isn't worked way too small. We don't deserve a board of directors. There's the role of kind of like a board of advisors, but again, that's a big ask and didn't really make sense, but I figured something out. And it's to sort of fake it like I have a board of advisors. And so what I've been doing is I have a sheet, and I do update it daily. And it's not a to-do list, and I don't want to turn it into a to-do list, but rather on the left-hand side is kind of what's on the plate. It kind of looks like a to-do list, but it's not. And what it does is in the morning, I sit down with my wife. My wife's been serving that role, and she's been doing great at it. It could be anybody, really. I think it needs to be somebody, though, who will stay objective and push you, and somebody you got to sell this to. And I go over, hey, this is what I'm working on today. This is what I'm delegating. This is where we've made progress. This is where we've had a hiccup or a step backward. And on the right-hand side, I've got the long-term goals. Where do I want to be with products, projects, things that are happening, things that aren't happening. And I make sure that the left-hand side leads us to the right-hand side. It goes back to the post that we did. We came across it, I think a fellow named Ryan Wenner sent it our way, about how goals are a terrible thing because so many people look at goals as the outcome. They focus on the goal. And in reality, what you need to focus on is what gets you to that goal. And that is the summation of the work you do on a daily basis. It's the power of doing small things over time. And this has been great because in the morning we sit down for like 3 minutes, 5 minutes. I'm like, hey, here's what I'm doing, here's what I'm doing, here's what I'm doing. Here's what I'm not doing, but it's kind of on the list, that's okay. Or here's what I'm delegating. And then at the end of the day, we do a real quick recap, and it's like, hey, I got all this done, I didn't get this done. And again, the focus is making sure the stuff on the left leads you to the stuff on the right. Sounds simple. We'll throw up a generic version of ours on the NYC site. Sounds simple, but it has been super impactful. It's been a great mental exercise, and I didn't have a problem of being unmotivated. I didn't really have a problem being distracted, but this helps me stay focused, and it also helps me say no to things that I may want to do, but it's not the right time to do them now. So just want to say hi, folks. I'm actually heading up tomorrow to Toronto to film at a really cool factory and then hang out with John Grimsmo. So I'm sure we'll be posting stuff from up there when I'm at Grimsmo Shop. Take care, folks. See you soon. Judd, you say hi. You say hi.